entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up of the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up of the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today I can't take it, so I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship?
Of course he's going to pretend he doesn't have a relationship with Su. Of course he's going to pretend he never had a relationship with Roger Khan. Of course he's going to pretend that the relationship with the Mohammeds wasn't that cozy. Of course he has had relationships with all those men. Lots and lots of relationships with folks with questionable backgrounds. That is what's happening. And that is what has been the PPP modus operandi for the past 20-something years. Mingling with individuals who are wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies, whether for drugs, whether for money laundering, whether for gold smuggling, and whether for their association with terrorist organizations around the world. Now, you've got to be careful with individuals who are trying to separate the criminals. All of them are what they are. All of them, every single one of them. There's no difference. Do not be fooled, guys. Do not be caught in a box where individuals, you know, like they get a bottle and people trying to put you in that genie bottle and tie you in it and confuse you and tell you that this set is corrupt, this other set is not corrupt, because this set suits your purpose now, your agenda. So you're going to wipe away all of their sins. Suddenly you become Jesus Christ and you want to wipe away all of their sins. Suddenly you become Mohamed, of whom be peace, right? Not that kind of whitewash Mohammeds. I'm talking about the Prophet Muhammad, of whom be peace. And suddenly they become Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Mother Kali, and all these sort of things. All because, and now I don't want to confuse situation, right? What if these vagabonds, the Mohammeds, they're vagabonds. Don't be fooled. They are vagabonds. What if they were still supporting the PPP regime? I bet all of you who are supporting them would have had an issue with them. Guys, do not be fooled. You might get yourselves in serious problems. Do not be fooled. Do not be brainwashed. Good night. My name is Mark Benshap, and welcome to Straight Up. Lots of things we want to talk to you about tonight. Lots of things. And, where do we begin? I noticed some folks are wishing Emma happy birthday. That's good. You guys lucky. I almost call in sick and say, hey, Wayne Caesar, find a guest and bring them on. But I'm here with you guys tonight, right? All right. Thank you all for sharing the link. And let me see, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Do we begin here? Installed PPP regime, the corrupt, the murderous PPP regime of Guyana is supposedly, I don't know, under fire. Nobody's saying much. People don't go out, they don't say much, but they're under fire. Gordon Mosley under fire by whom and where? And nobody cares these days to deal with real issues in order to confront the corrupt PPP regime. I don't know. I don't know, man. Look, that's just for a quick moment. Folks are saying that sometimes they do not get notification whenever Straight Up is on. I don't know why. We are going to have our folks look into it. But thank you all so much, though. And I can't be selfish other than Emma. For some reason, I believe that Emma is the only person celebrating her birthday. This is my daughter, Emma Sophia Benshap. It's her 7th birth anniversary today. I also know there are others out there who are celebrating their birth anniversary. So happy birthday to all, every single one of you guys who are celebrating your birthday today, who celebrated your birthday yesterday, who are celebrating your birthday tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I gotta be fair with everybody, right? All right, so what exactly, back to this government of Guyana under fire. One silly thing, one Guyana. And you guys are so distracted that y'all not focusing on this. Y'all not going in front of the office of the president and say enough is enough. Y'all running behind Paku. That's who y'all running behind, Paku. Some of you have to stop running behind Pakus. These issues are the real issues we have to deal with. One Guyana who in your passport, in the Guinea's passport, one Guyana who. Look, y'all got to be careful of that corrupt PPP regime. Because sooner or later, I don't know what's going to be left with Guyana. And then we're hearing about the shoot and scoot, the so-called shoot and scoot minister. Wasn't he the one that blocked out, fell on the floor, threw himself on the floor, and now he's hollering what shoot and scoot and scoot and shoot? Does he even know what that is? Robeson Ben of all person? I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder. Seriously, sometimes I really wonder about Guyana. I don't know. Do you guys wonder about Guyana? Do you guys ever wonder about Guyana? I mean, I do every single day. And I know you guys do that too. I know. I'm not the only one. We all do, don't we? Yeah. But when you take a look of what the PPPC is doing to Guyana, sometimes I'm sure some of you just feel like forgetting about Guyana, right? But we can't. It's our country, the country of our birth, and so we cannot forget about Guyana. So back to this Paku, Robeson Ben, and shoot and scoot. What the heck is that? What's wrong with this guy? He is the one that is telling our, the soldiers in Guyana and the police in Guyana to shoot and scoot and duck and cover, then shoot and scoot and duck and cover. That's what Robeson Ben, the so-called minister of Home Affairs. That is what he is saying. But he's not going to go, he's not going to shoot, he's not going to scoot. In fact, this is the guy that's telling the soldiers and the policemen and women in Guyana to shoot and scoot. And here is Robeson Ben. This is Robeson Ben. The same guy that is telling the police, that's telling the Guyana Defense Force officers, the soldiers, to shoot and scoot. Look where Robeson Ben lying down. Shoot and scoot. Right? These vagabonds, these PPP vagabonds will do anything to sell Guyana out. Any single thing to sell Guyana out. And so they're not concerned about sovereignty. It's just a facade. That's all it is. Y'all take a look at Shoot and Scoot. He's on the ground. Sprawl off, skin up. Where's Otisha when we need him? Sprawl off, skin up on the ground. Shoot and scoot. Right. Operation time, shoot and scoot. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Shoot and scoot. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods that we can talk about? Yeah. Foolishness every day. The two of them. Foolishness. The Mohamed and the P. Foolishness all day. All foolishness. Dirtiness. When they're loving up, kissing up, chatting, Mati, getting billions of dollars. Didn't the PPP know that these folks were wannabe gangsters? Didn't they know that? Didn't they know that these folks were on U.S. law enforcement radars for many, many years? Jack Deere didn't know it when they were hugging up, kissing up, when they were giving these folks millions of dollars of contracts, when they give them license for firearms and all these things, security firms and all these manner of things. They didn't know that they were penny gangsters. Jack Deere, they can't tell me that they didn't know that the Mohammed's folks were on the radars of U.S. law enforcement agencies. And this is a Reuters report. U.S. probing Exxon contract in Guyana for gold smuggling, all manner of things, drug dealing, terrorism, assassination. I'm not the one who's investigating them for that. U.S. law enforcement agencies. And you're telling me Jack Deere didn't know all of that. Just like he didn't know the gangsters, the others in Guyana, and the so-called businessmen who were pooling up their monies to murder and slaughter people. Didn't they know that? Oh, just like he said that he has met the Mohammeds. You guys remember he said he met Roger Khan also and all those other guys? Those gangsters? All of them? But the question is, why is it the PPP is they've always been in bed and they continue to be in bed with questionable characters, money launderers, gold smugglers, people who violate people's human rights and all manner of things. The PPP has a history of doing these things. They are the ones who actually produce, who actually nourish these individuals. It is the PPP. So all these wannabe gangsters, as Jack Deere put it, all of them enrich themselves under the PPP regime. That is what it is about. Correct. Birds of a feather flock together. But I notice some folks now, one other person is this and the other person. All of them are the same. Every single one of them are the same. Every single. And a lot of them are on law enforcement radars, U.S. law enforcement radars. But I see the tricks with some of them. some folks. I see what they're trying to do, right? But little do they know it's going to harm them. It's going to hurt them. Do not do it, guys. Do not do it. If the Mohammeds were of African descent, 99% of y'all would never have embraced them. Never. Y'all don't fool yourselves. Stop fooling yourselves. This thing is going to get worse. It's going to get bad. Do not do it. Leave Jack Dieu and the PPP and Irfan and them to fight their own battle. Let them fight Mati, as I would say. Have you guys heard? The only person that is talking about those crappos, the only person that is talking about them is Barra Jack Dieu. Do you hear anything? Do you hear anything? Do you guys hear anything coming from Irfan Ali about the Mohammeds? Anything at all? If you guys have heard anything from Mohamed Irfan Ali, then tell me. Anything at all? Have you guys heard anything? Do you think he has anything to say? Anything to say? Nothing at all he has to say, because all of them are friends in the 2020 elections. All manner of things. Who you think Claudette Singh said wanted to assassinate her? It wasn't me. It wasn't Hazel. It wasn't Yo. It wasn't Marcia. It wasn't Carol. It wasn't Vanita. It wasn't Nancy. It wasn't Tony Hack. It wasn't Wayne Caesar. It wasn't Chandel. It wasn't Penelope. It wasn't William Bill Cato. It wasn't. Call Claudette Singh right now and ask her which quote-unquote businessman in Guyana during the 2020 elections wanted to assassinate her. Who? Y'all betters, as they say in Guyana. Y'all betters wake up. Wake up. Ask yourselves why Irfan Ali is so quiet. Be careful. Be extra careful. Now I noticed Nigel Hughes is asking, they want advice. Nigel Hughes and General Secretary Raphael Trotman were consulted by Nazar Mohamed and Nasruddin Mohamed of Team Mohamed at the request of Mohammeds on legal issues. Now, come on, Nigel. We're grown-ups. On legal issues. Now they're consulting you guys at Hughes, Fields, and Stobie on legal issues. Nigel says here, the discussion including addressing legal obstacles which the team was encountering in its philanthropic work. Really? Legal counsel? So is Nigel's office taking on the work of the Mohammeds now as lawyers for the Mohammeds? Now, I don't know. But Nigel ended by saying the consultations were of legal professional nature. Question, is Nigel Hughes' office being paid for this, or is it pro bono? Nigel ended his statement by saying the law office is seeking its own independent advice on whether legal services can be provided to the Mohammeds. Now, here is what Nigel Hughes and his law firm should have done in the first place. You cannot sit and speak on the Mohammeds them as they claim to be seeking legal advice. Fair enough. Anybody can seek legal advice, so don't get me wrong. But Nigel, they sat and met with them and then come back now to say that the law office is seeking its own independent advice on whether legal services can be provided to the Mohammeds. That should have been done in the first place, because you leave people now wondering what's going on with Nigel and the AFC. What's happening, guys? Is there something that we don't know? But let me offer some pro bono advice to Nigel's law firm. The sanctions against the Mohamed is the highest. OFAC. It's the highest. That is what it is. And therefore, if they pay Nigel's law firm or anybody according to the sanction, they can find themselves in serious hot waters. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say to you guys, be careful, be extra careful, because when it hit the fan, can't say I never did I warn you guys, right? You can't say I haven't warned you guys. Now, what else is happening? We want to talk about, what is it? This is a university in India that the PPP is using and spending billions of your tax dollars. Billions of your tax dollars, guys. I don't know what is happening in Guyana, but you guys, some of you guys are so misguided and y'all are being distracted. God knows why you guys are so distracted. I just don't know. I just don't know, guys. When I'm on the phone, when I'm on the air, you know, when you text me, you know, anybody, people don't care what kind of win. Any kind of thing for a win. Any kind of thing for a win. And then y'all are being distracted thinking that anything is a win. That is a win. That is a win. Come on, sir. I am on the air. Stop texting me. Just stop texting me, please. I'm on the air. If you want to text, go in the comment section and text, please. Thank you. All right? Just thank you. I appreciate it, but y'all don't let me plug out like the highlighter. All right. Good night to Mr. Conan Marshall. Plug out. Good night to Conan Marshall. So be careful, guys. Be extra careful. Now, here's what this Paku Jack Dio is saying. This Paku Jack Dio. Paku. That's what he is. Paku Jack Dio. Paku. Right? Nazar Mohamed claims government engaged in major transactions with family after U.S. sanctions. Major transaction. Now, this is no secret. Everybody knew it. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. But Jack Dio is denying it. They're all the same, birds of a feather. For 9 months after the sanctions, they continue to protect the Mohammeds. They continue to sleep in the same bed with the Mohammeds. Now is their own flea biting them. Let them fight. Let them pick up cutlass or whatever else. No, there's no violence here, politically speaking. Let them fight. Let them fight. And while they fight, you guys sit and watch. Let them destroy each other. Meanwhile, the Mohammeds are still wanted by several U.S. law enforcement agencies. According to sources, they are wanted for serious crimes. Very, very serious crimes. But let them fight. What's happening with Melly Mel now? What is happening with Melly Mel? Melissa Atwell. Good evening to all of you, every single one of you. You're hearing that Melissa Atwell, who is known on social media as Melly Mel. Now, information is a bit sketchy. It is a bit sketchy. And so I do not want to give my mouth liberty other than to say that when you have a corrupt government, as is the case in Guyana, and that corrupt regime, when you guys think that Jack Dio is the head or Irfan is the head of the government of Guyana, it is not. It is a mafia entity. That is what it is. Mafia entity. Guyana is not being run. It is not a real government. It is not. A bunch of criminals running that country right now. And criminals are fighting each other. Let the criminals fight each other. Let the money launderers, let the gold smugglers fight each other. Now back to Melly Mel. Some of you may disagree with her approach, and some of you salute her for her approach. At the end of the day, it is pretty obvious what the PPP regime is about, the corrupt PPP regime. Because of the oil wealth, they are flexing their muscles. And folks who criticize the corrupt PPP regime, they want to intimidate them. The Pacus in Guyana, the corrupt, the murderous PPP regime, the regime that is in bed with terrorists, that they have used hundreds upon hundreds of gold bars to donate to terrorist organizations around the world. They know what they've been doing. They have been supporting phantom squads and killing squads and all these manner of things. And because the oil wealth is so much that they have sold the nation away to individuals, the highest bidders. And so anyone who criticizes the corrupt PPP regime, they're going to want to put them on the radar and say to the Americans, look what is happening. We can't allow this to happen. That is what those vagabonds in the PPP regime are doing. But let me say to you guys, in that person's voice from Barbados, hey, well, we're not, they can do, their corrupt PPP regime can do what they want to do, right? We're not afraid of them and should never be afraid to speak out. The government of Guyana is corrupt. The government of Guyana is anti-America. The government of Guyana is more pro-terrorism. They have harbored a terrorist by the name of Sukri Juman or something of that nature, an Al-Qaeda terrorist. Most of the business, so-called businessmen connected to the PPP are supporters of terrorism, money launderers, gold smugglers, phantom squad owners, death squads. Those are the people that the PPP is associated with. Those are the people. Now, some of them fall out, some of them this, some of them bumps raise and so forth and so on. But those are the people. They're not healthy people, politically speaking and otherwise. They're not healthy people. If they could continue to rape the nation and take away from the ordinary masses, the ordinary citizens, it doesn't matter their ethnicity. It doesn't matter their political affiliation or whatever. The corrupt PPP regime doesn't care. If Jack Deere could go as far as wanting to give a piece of Essequibo to Venezuela, you can just imagine. If Irfan Ali is giving away Guyana to China and his friends them in Saudi Arabia and in some Arab countries and so forth. Now, nothing against people in those countries, mind you. And this is not a statement based on religion. But the corruption, you guys heard about the Sputnik when some prince from Dubai or wherever was the one financing, and they had some middleman and hundreds of millions of dollars in a fake Sputnik vaccine. Do you know how many folks died as a result of the corrupt PPP negligence? Lots and lots of people, my friends. Lots of people have died. And that is why it's important that this corrupt PPP regime be voted out of office next elections. Now back to Melly Mel. Now, what could be the reason that the PPP is actually going after Melly Mel? You know, they want to go after others as well. But the question tonight is, why or what is the purpose? We're hearing that Homeland Security, agents of Homeland Security, that's what we're hearing, picked her up and questioned her. I don't know what they questioned her about, assuming that this is all true. But question her about what? Question her about her activism? Is there any particular thing? Have they questioned her about information that has been leaked to her and to others? Or have they questioned her about the Mohammeds? No, I don't know. I just don't know. Somebody named Mark says, Melly gone back home. Melly gone back home where? Now, you can't have a name such as Mark and then you speak Melly gone back home. Gone back home where? When you say Melly gone back home where? Carl Miller said it's funny how James Bond and those Pakus, the Mohammeds them, parted ways. Well, y'all already know James Bond is a flat-foot hustler. That is what he is, a flat-foot hustler. Wherever there's an umbrella, that is where he's going to be. Now, there are some things that I really want to say, but I'll save it. I told you guys I have a bag full of things to say about JB, or whatever you guys call him. A bag full of things. I've asked him to come to the US. Let's sit and have coffee. Let's sit and have coffee and talk. Because some of the things I don't want to talk right now. At some point in time, maybe, but not right now. So whatever the situation is with Melissa Atwell, also known as Melly Mel, also known as Melly Mel, we just have to pray and hope that all is well with her. That is all I wish to say at this point in time. But shame on the corrupt PPP regime. Shame on them. What else you guys want us to touch on tonight? 37 minutes after 9 o'clock. 37 minutes after 9 o'clock. I'm reading some of your comments. Rondelay, not Guyana, because back to Melly Mel. The reason the PPP wants Melly Mel back in Guyana, in my opinion, knowing the history of the PPP regime, particularly under Barra Jack Deer's stewardship, is they want to assassinate her. They want her dead. That is how the PPP roll, as they would say in Guyana. That's how the PPP roll. They want her dead. I wouldn't be surprised. That is what they are about. They do not like to be challenged. They are challenged. They are intellectually challenged, but they do not like to be challenged. That's the problem with the corrupt PPP regime. Oh, Father, what else is happening? What else is happening in your neck of the woods, guys? What else is happening? What else do you guys want us to talk about this evening? Other than to say to people, be extra careful. Be extra careful, guys, in who you stand up and who you defend. Be extra careful. So, Melly Mel, prayers are with you. We hope all is well Shame on those vagabonds in the PPP regime. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more of Straight.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up.
They're hiding corruption inside a cup. That's what they do. Every single day, that is what they do. Meanwhile, Jack Jail ain't saying nothing, absolutely nothing about the source that has been saying that he has billions of dollars, billions of US dollars, billions of US dollars in a Chinese bank account. Billions of US dollars. He's running from it. The last time I brought it to his attention, he telling me stupidness about wigs and lipstick. One of these days, I'm going to put on a nice wig for she and a lipstick. I actually what color lipstick she wants me to put on. That's all. That's the stupidness that we have in Guyana for politics. It's stupidness, silly stuff for politics. What else it is? I'm looking at some of your comments. I'm really looking at some of your comments. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to say much. We're going to wait until Melly Mel issues a statement. Wait until Melly Mel issues a statement. Wait until she speaks to you guys. I don't want to speculate other than the PPP regime. They are spending their millions of US dollars to go after individuals who speak out against them. They used to spend less than that to kill people in Guyana. They do not like when people speak out against them. They get those people killed, jail them, cut the neck off, and dash their bodies away, chop them up. All these things happen under the PPP regime. They do not like when people speak out against them. Now, I'm getting a lot of text messages from individuals, sources of whatever it is, information that they have pertaining to reasons why certain things are happening at this moment. And that maybe Reuters and other news agencies will write again. And when they write, I'm just saying, if I don't know, but if that were to happen, then your eyes will be opened a little more and you will get to understand how certain people are trying to brainwash you guys. Don't fall for it, guys. That's all I keep saying. Do not fall for it. I got a phone call I want to take, so I'll take this quick break and I'll be right back. Now, I noticed there's a Frank Rice. Frank Rice. asking if I have any information on the assassination and the murder of the Guyanese female rapper in Atlanta. I don't have any information. I don't have any information, Frank Rice. And then there's a Sleepy Dove. God in heaven knows what Sleepy Dove is writing there. I don't know. Only God knows what Sleepy Dove is writing. But I'm reading some of your comments. Lyndon Elliott, how are you, sir? Nice to see you as always here. Guyana is down is slippery slope. And Lyndon Elliott is saying that he hopes it's not a repeat of 1963, 64. And those of you who have been around for that long time, folks like Michael Reed and Jackie Cameron, and who else? Wayne Caesar and Carl Miller and Hazel Johnson and Ian Williams and Tony Hack and Ann Lewis and Ann John and Princess. They all have been around since or before 1963 or 1964. And so I wouldn't be able to know what transpired then, other than what I heard as to what the PPP did to Guyana in terms of burning the cane fields and economic sabotage throughout the country. Thanks again to the people of Linden and the bauxite industry for saving Guyana, for rescuing Guyana. Some of you bumps raising. Michael Reed say he's 1980. Michael, you could be 1980, right? All right. I got some other engagements. I really got some other engagements, mind you, with some other information that I have for you guys, but those are things that will be discussed tomorrow evening when I have my guest on to deal with a lot of the issues, including the PPP is paying millions of US dollars to go after people who criticize them, but they can go to hell, if you ask me. Now, some folks are talking about what Maya Motley, and I've been following Maya Motley since the 2020 elections. It's like I dismiss things, but Keith Rowley, these guys are standing up for their country. Do you expect Irfan Ali to stand up for Guyanese? Do you expect Jack Day to stand up for Guyanese? Jack Day is said to have some woman, which probably is a surprise to a lot of you, and 2 kids. And the woman is supposed to be a Cuban doctor. A Cuban doctor. So read between the lines. So the PPP has been benefiting in so many ways from the Cubans. But will they take a position as the Prime Minister of Barbados and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and that Pacu from St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Do you think Irfan, they are going to take a soft position? Very soft position. Both of them are going to take very soft positions. They're not going to defend anything or anyone. They are going to raise their hands up and they are going to surrender the sovereignty. So in other words, Guyanese, y'all depon y'all own. The PPP don't sell the country out. It don't gone to the highest bidders. That is what's happening in Guyana. And in order to move away from that, you've got to vote next elections. But y'all be careful. Be careful with who you vote for. Be careful with who you lend your support to. Be careful with who you embrace. Be careful with who you throw mala around the neck. It might very well come back to haunt you. Read between the lines. It may come back to haunt you. When Uncle Sam says he's ready, Uncle Sam is ready. Reuters, New York Times, I don't know. Maybe soon you guys will be hearing more from them. I don't know. But I'm out of here. Tony Hack, I'm gone. I got some stuff to do. Celebration still continues with Emma's birthday. So I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow with some guests. Not going to say who they are, but I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. Say a prayer for Melly Mel, whatever the situation is. Like I've said, I'm not going to speculate. Let her speak. Let her speak. I'm out of here, guys. God bless you all, and God bless that beautiful country there. One of the things I wanted to say some other things tonight, but I've got to go. Thank you, Nancy, and thank you to all the folks in and out of Guyana, Ballers and Booker and Ogle, every single, and Raquel Gentle and Rhonda Lane, every single one of you. God bless you all. I've got to go. Be back tomorrow, same place, same time. Sorry about that, guys. There's no difference. For a moment, I thought the guy on the right, the same. Are they the same person? The guy on the right and this guy, the same thing. A lick is a lick. A lick is a lick. I'm out of here, guys. God bless.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a...
Are we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Fuck, so let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk. Body walk. Body walk, baby, body walk, truck, body walk, body walk, body walk, baby, body.